Good evening. Welcome to Investigator News. I'm your host, Ellie, and this is the Weather and Lifestyle News Channel. Boy, what a week for me. Boy, you think I'd give up by now, but no, I just keep a pedaling, huh, Karen? I keep a pedaling. So I went to see that movie, and of course, you guys know that I was tripped. And then Tuesday afternoon, I had everything ready to go. I was ready to do a great show. I was like, oh, all into getting you guys some really great news, not only for this, but my next show. And three trucks pull up quickly. Now, I have to admit, I thought it was the cops, and I figured it was the FBI coming to get me. Conspiracy stuff. Yeah, and come to find out, one runs up to the door, one runs to the side of my house. And I'm thinking, oh, no internet today. No, they're banging on my door, banging, not just knocking. And I open the door and he says, turn everything off. Turn everything off in your house. What? No, just go and do it. I'll be back with you in a few minutes. And about that time, a gentleman showed up and he said my meter was reading at 434 degrees. My house was fixing to catch fire. They even asked if I smelt smoke. I was like, no. Why is my meter that hot? And how dangerous is this? And they said, turn everything off in your house. So I turned everything off and they told me I would have to leave because they had to wait for the meter to cool off, and at any time my house could have caught on fire. Um, Man, I was like, okay, uh, so what's the first thing I do? I said, oh, okay, so what do I need if I'm gonna prepare and evacuate? My coffee pot. Yeah. Oh yeah. So everybody else is thinking the dog, the cat, the family, and all. Not Ellie. She's thinking, I got to have the coffee pot. Yeah, I'm going to go to the hotel. I'm going to get the coffee pot. Uh, yeah, I think of the strangest things, but I remembered everything. I remembered my medicine, and we went. And it wasn't till late last night that we were back online again. So of course, I'm doing a show today. Now, you would think stuff was over. I always call William and I say, William, guess what? William's always, I always wonder if William really believes all the stuff that happens to me, but it does. And I'm so blessed. My house didn't catch on fire. My daughter's house burned over a year ago. And um, so get this, folks. Before I tell you what I did this morning, um, now, if the house would have caught on fire, I would have done like my daughter. I would have grabbed the hose and I would have sprayed. You do not put water on electrical fire. Now, what we're looking at is uh, when I had the storm, it pulled the lines over and it pulled the wire that goes from the meter to my power box. And what it did is it melted. They said it was melted. Um, that's why it was they and so immediate. I need to be out of the house. Okay, so this morning the dog's barking, 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 and running back and forth and barking, looking at me like, "Come on, stupid," you know. And I'm like, "Okay, okay, I'm coming, I'm coming." Um, I left the water running in my sink, and it flooded my kitchen. And I'm thinking, well, I've been at the hotel for a few days. Maybe I haven't done dishes in the sink in 3 4 days. Maybe I just forgot that you have to shut the water off. Hmm. Oh boy, yeah, boy. So I've had an eventful. So I flooded my kitchen this morning and used all my towels. uh yeah. Yeah, so Ellie, I've had an eventful week being tripped. Thinking, my arm was almost broke, I thought, to my house almost catching fire, to flooding my kitchen. Yeah, I'm so blessed, folks. If you look at the stuff that happens to me, and my granddaughter had a birthday, and uh, um, Karen's granddaughter had a birthday, so it was an eventful week. I'm ready to calm down. No more, no more flooding, no more wire, no more uh, storms, no more trees, no more everything. Oh boy. But you know what? Oh, get this. We get to the hotel, and my grandson gets the coffee pot out, and he drops it, and it shatters my coffee pot, the carafe thing. And he looks at me, and I look at him, and he says, "Am I in trouble?" I said, "No, it's just par for the course. It's okay. I'll just go buy another one. Satan, get behind me." Yeah, it ain't gonna bug me. I almost had my house on fire, almost had a broken arm from a lady that wanted to trip me, and now the coffee pot's broke. It's okay. You just buy a new one. Oh, yeah. And then the insurance company. Oh, boy. I don't even want to get to the insurance company part, uh, because it's storm damage. 2 days in a hotel with a dog that it just loves everybody. Uh, Made a kid scream. I come out of the hotel room, and there's this. I didn't even see the kid. The kid screamed like somebody had killed it. I mean, I was worried about the kid to find out if something happened to it. It was just screaming because it's scared of dogs. Okay, yeah. I No, I don't need a vacation. Y'all are my vacation. I was like, I can't wait to get back. I just want to do shows. I just want to do shows and like shut the door and everybody go away. Y'all are my vacation. Susan did this. Uh, I got to show that. No, I don't need a vacation. I need y'all. Uh, that's the southern part of me, even though I'm from California. I need you guys. I need to do news. Y'all are my vacation. Yeah. So, yeah, alligators in the undercars and orbs. Oh my goodness, it was so beautiful. I can't wait to show it to you. The weather. Oh, here we go. Arkansas, the storm killer. Yeah. And take a look at this. There we go. Um, yeah, it's got Arkansas in its path. And it's like, nah, we're going to kill it. No more storms. Ellie says no. You go hit Missouri or somewhere else. Well, I said that, and then Kentucky got hit. It's like, well, I didn't mean for that. The flooding. Oh boy, Susan, I laugh at this. I call William and I go, "Are you spunky today?" He says, "Yeehaw." Uh, I said, "Good, because I want you to do a show with me. We're going to do a World War III report in the next probably 45 minutes." Um, like I said, you guys, this is what everybody says, maybe do less shows, and I'm like, oh no, 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 no. I need my shows. I need uh, you guys to share the show. I need lots of viewers. That's what makes me happy. Yeah. uh, and I even talked to Kim, and I'm gonna send her the show today and tell her I mentioned her. uh, Kim is from my pogo group, and she heard about of everything that's happened to me this week, and she said, we weren't told, if it wasn't for the head lady calling me, that when I did pogo, um, I was just the gamekeeper. I was the keeper of the games. They called me the leader, and I'm like, nah, I'm not a good leader, I'm just fun. And so I would keep score. I was a scorekeeper, and I set up all the games, and I did trivia that you guys get. You're getting the same trivia type of stuff that I did on Pogo. And so I walked away from Pogo and left it in the hands to a lady named Kelly. And if it wasn't for her calling me, they wouldn't have really known what happened. And they always wonder, they always wonder. They love me. So we all need a peaceful. Uh, uh, Karen, I tried to take a vacation and I ended up with Tony. That's what happens on my vacations. Karen knows about that one. Went on a vacation, had a lot of fun, and then this one woman, one lady, decided that she was mental and got mad. I threw out Jello shots and beer. I gave the beer to the neighbors. Wasn't even her beer. And she got mad at me and she was like, freaky, mental. And yeah, that was the vacation. No, it's all right. I'm going to stay home and I'll do shows. How's that sound? So, hi, Mary. All right, so let's get on to the weather. All right, here we go. Um, it's not Miss Davis, though.
So we have a couple different spots where we're going to have some pretty nasty, severe weather late this afternoon into this evening. One's in the Great Lakes and one's out in the plains. Let's focus in on the plains here first. We could see some really big hailstones, bigger than golf balls, from Denver down toward Garden City, Kansas, and also some pretty gusty wind, and then some big hail possible up in parts of the Great Lakes, including Detroit, Lima, Fort Wayne. Now, the timing on both of these areas of severe weather is going to be very similar. Late afternoon through the early evening is when the majority of the worst storms are going to be going on. Once we get later in the evening, even though the storms will be going on farther east, they won't have quite as much kick to them. Also could see some flooding with some of those storms out in the plains. So really just a lot of different things that you need to be weather aware about through the rest of the afternoon and the evening. Timing is pretty similar up in the Great Lakes. Cleveland, Detroit, even down towards Cincinnati could see some pretty gusty storms late afternoon through about mid-evening or so. And there is at least a chance for some flooding in some of those areas as well. I know we've got a pretty soaked ground down in parts of the Ohio and Mississippi River valleys, especially parts of western Kentucky. So, a lot of things on the table today. A pretty active day of severe weather.
Severe weather. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Um, yeah, no, Miss Davis. Well, I don't know why she disappears. And then now they got new people on there. There's a lady in red today, and I'm like, no, I don't think so. What happened to my shows in the mornings? No, yeah. My shows in the mornings have now had to change because, well, why do they gotta lie? And so, why do they gotta lie about the weather? Why do they gotta lie about things? Oh, the world we live in. Yeah, the what is it? The um the crime and the lies and the misinformation, the web of all of it. We 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 weave. Yeah. All right. So we got some severe weather, and then let's see. The latest. Um, I'll make sure I got this. Um, the heat, the heat goes on. We haven't had our 2 weeks of over 100 yet. Everybody's like, it's hot. And Arkansas, they're at 115, they're at 125, and they broke records. Well, not really. We have a week in July where we have 100 plus. We didn't see that. Now, close to August, we have a week of 100s. We haven't seen it yet. And so they say it's hot, hot, hot. Yeah, of course it's hot. It's the summer. And, they want to say, look at Arizona, look at Death Valley. There's still people going to see Death Valley with 120 degrees. They're still going out there. Why? Oh, and there's so many signs. And the signs is of excessive thirst and not feeling good. Your temperature not being able to cool off. It could lead to heat stroke. Don't leave your pets or your kids in your cars. That's the big one. Um, Being a court TV buff, I watched 3 cases where kids were left in the car And they say it was only 80, 90 degrees, and it was only for an hour. Some, they just forget they're there and then go off and go to work all day. That was one case I watched. You can't leave. If it's over 80 degrees, folks, don't take your pets. Don't take your kids. Find somewhere to take them. And they're saying that this summer heats might linger into the start of fall, they say. They don't know. I like how they guesstimate. Yeah, new word, guesstimate. They're guessing um, what it's going to do. Now, I told you guys that we had a volcano that went and it spewed ash. When the ash goes up, it covers the sun and you get cooler temperatures. They're saying we're going to rise, which is a greenhouse effect. Um, so, I wanted to get this out to you about the whole thing with don't leave your animals in the car, folks. Quit. Now, there was only 25 earthquakes earlier, but then they had one in Alaska. That was a 2.5, and in the same area, 2.5. Everything is very small. It's like it all started up. And Dutchson's was looking for the next 6 or the next 7. These earthquakes are so out of control, and the volcanoes are. And I don't want to scare people, but what we're seeing is it's running the ring of fire over and over and over again. And every single time it does a loop around the ring of fire, it gets worse. So, what's the ring of fire? Well, let me go over some of the earthquakes. 5.0 in Kermadec Islands. The next biggest would be Tuvalu, Indonesia. That was a 5.0. Then we go up to, it's always the same spot almost, in Japan. And Honshu, that was a 4.4. Aleutian Islands, Alaska, 5.0. And this was the Rat Islands. And then, of course, we had one in Montana again, Lima, a 2.8. A 3.0. And then we're looking over by Iceland. Iceland, the Ray James Ridge, 4.6, folks. The islands got real quiet. Puerto Rico, and Venezuela, Colombia, they're all really quiet. But then we got Bolivia region, we got a 4.3. It's still very quiet in China, Iran, Tajikistan, Italy. Is that where it's going to hit? Now, I suggest you watch Dutchson's. He is on YouTube, Dutchsons.com or Dutchsons on YouTube, and take a look at his data. He's really good at this. And as many times they wanted to shut him down, he just finds a way to be back up. It just encourages him, kind of like me. I've lost a channel for those new members. I did lose a channel already, and I'm on 2 strikes, and it should be ending any day. And I'll be down to 1 strike. But what does a strike tell you? I'm telling you the truth, because when I tell you the truth, they want to ban me. All right, onward. I've got a lot here. A late summer, early fall. Are they confused? A late summer, early fall. Okay, which one is it? Which one is it? Is it late fall or late summer or early fall? They're going to do a coin flip and tell us what the coin said? Oh, we got to start just keeping an eye on our skies. And why? Because we have got, let's see if I can find it. Uh, Perseids, I think that's Perseids, um, meteor showers coming up. Got to start watching the skies, folks. It is something you can do with your kids. I used to do it with mine all the time. Lay out every single night and watch the meteor showers. So don't miss them. And of course, Weather Channel, being the Weather Channel, of course they got a video. Oh boy. So, and not only that, um, but let's see if I got, um, there is two different moons this month. I think the blue moon and the pink moon. And I think there is even an eclipse. The moon and space will be very active this week. So go out and watch. And if you see something strange, get a picture of it. I don't care if it looks like it's traveling with um, the satellites. Get a picture of it. All right, I'm going to move on because I got so much to do here today. Um, the orb. Now, I made a big thing on this. It was the title of my show. I thought this was the coolest thing, except for when they decide to go holograms with us, what are they going to create and what are they going to put in the sky, knowing we're Christians? So the orb, um, it's beautiful, folks. If you haven't watched it, here we go.
Multiple people became ill while waiting for their flight to take off from Harry Reid International Airport in Las Vegas on Monday amid triple-digit temperatures. Some passengers report.
Yeah. Now get this, the planes. Now just because it mentioned it, folks, I want to say that you get on a plane and boy, I tell you what, until it gets going, it's hot. And planes are hot. And they won't turn on the AC till they start. And everybody's in their seat and everybody's clipped in and then they cool you off. I don't know about that. Miss Davis was in charge of that one. William, you might have to go watch Miss Davis on that. So, um, this happened in Oklahoma City, and if you've never heard of a pacu, it is a fish. It is like a piranha. Well, it ended up in Oklahoma, and our news here in Arkansas picked it up too. And what is a pacu? It's a fish that has teeth like a human being. Might have to let's see if I can get a bigger picture of this guy. Um, no, let's see. Um, no, no. Well, I'll try it. But they got teeth like humans, but it's a piranha, and they are not supposed to be in our waters. They're just not. And we come to find out, um, there was one in Oklahoma, an 11-year-old reels in an exotic pacu. I think that's how you pronounce it. Human-like teeth from a neighborhood pond. I want to know why this pond's got this fish. You know, we don't. We got the Asian carp for those fishermen that know about Asian carp. It's the ones that jump in your boat, but they'll jump at you and they hurt you. Those are not supposed to be here. Those are Asian carp, and they're taking over our waterways. Now, do we need piranha? Really? Ugh. Who wants to swim with some piranha that have teeth like humans? Champa champa. Yeah. No, I don't think so. So, um, and then, we got a Florida that hears strange noises coming from under the car and can't figure out what the noises are and discovers it's an alligator. What? Yeah. It's a little tiny one, and you know, you think, oh, it's just a little tiny thing. I just pick it up. It's got teeth, folks. Even 3, 4 foot long, they have got some teeth. They will chew your arm off. It's not picking them up and moving them out of the way. And he called the police, and he was basically startled. It was in this garage, a closed garage, and got an alligator in there. They're hungry. 'Tis the season, and with the drought and the waters being so bad, folks, uh, even bears. When I seen this, I thought, you know, um, even the birds are fighting over the bird seed in my feeder. That's got to tell you something, the drought and lack of bugs. But then I've got like spiders in my house. I'm like, birds, come get the spiders. But there is like, have you guys seen the Allstate commercial with the guy that rips off the door and he's a bear and yeah, he's going to eat the food in your back seat? Um, as we as we move our housing outward, we're going to see more wildlife. And this is what happened when I was in California with Sacramento, when they wanted to build a walking or a bike or a running trail. And they put it in mountain lion territory. And then they were surprised when they had mountain lion attacks. When you put it through their territory, and I know people want to expand and people want this nature stuff, but when you have nature, you really have nature. All right, I'm going to move on. I don't want to stick too much on the alligator and the natures, but we are taking their space and they're coming to us to feed them. Do not feed these guys. You feed them, they're going to come back. Even the lonely possum. You say, oh, he's so cute. I'm going to give him a hot dog. Well, he's going to come to you with all his buddies to get hot dogs from you. Don't do it. Just shoo them away. Just shoo them away. And you find a lone one, don't think that, maybe mama left him. Wait. Or get it and turn it over to wildlife management. Don't do this to yourselves. These are wild animals. I know I'm going to have people mad at me, but it's okay. Um, um, North Carolina had a tornado that touched down. It was just really odd because it took out the Pfizer plant. The one that takes out the meds. You just got to wonder. I can be a conspiracy theorist on this saying, how odd that it just decided to touch down on a Pfizer plant. But there was a lot of homes that were taken out, a lot of manufactured homes. Uh, and that's what everybody's into, the cheaper homes. And Pfizer, how bad is that going to hurt us for our medications? Anybody ever asked that one? I mean, Pfizer and Teva. Teva's out of Israel. Um, and Teva makes a lot of medications, and so does Pfizer. Now, if Pfizer goes down, or Pfizer, just this plant, this was in North Carolina, folks. Um, if it goes down, how bad is our prescriptions going to go up? We don't know yet because they don't want to talk about it. The news don't. How many of you heard on the news the Pfizer plant got hit? It's feel bad for North Carolina and the residents, and I do. But what concerns me is this Pfizer plant. All right. On this day in history, what do you think? What? Yeah. What is it? 1968. The first Special Olympic Summer Games were held in Chicago. Everybody forgets about the Special Olympics, and it's very important to these kids and these adults that have disabilities that they get to compete. That's why I think and not to be mean with the transgenders, but I think they need their Olympics too. They need their own. They could compete against each other. That's all I'm going to say on it. All right, so a sailor rescued after months adrift in the Pacific Ocean. He looks bad. He looks really bad. And him and his dog. The sailor was rescued after months adrift in the Pacific Ocean.
This is Tim Shattuck, a 51-year-old sailor from Australia who was just rescued after spending months adrift in the South Pacific Ocean. He and his dog Bella survived off rainwater and raw fish after all the electronics on his boat were wiped out during a storm. Thankfully, they were eventually picked up by a Mexican fishing trawler. So just to help you visualize this situation, here's where Tim and Bella set sail from. It was La Paz, Mexico. French Polynesia was their destination. They got lost somewhere in between, which means that it was likely somewhere close to the equator. Now, it just so happens that close to the equator, we have this thing that goes on. It's called the Intertropical Convergence Zone, the ITCZ for short. And it's where you have a lot of converging air at the surface, which leads to rising air, which leads to basically a lot of on and off thunderstorms, which can be a good thing or a bad thing if you're stranded out at sea on a boat, right? Because, obviously dealing with a storm that has some really strong wind and lightning, that could be a bad thing. But it also allowed him to collect a lot of rainwater, which he drank along with his dog. Just glad to hear that they're safe.
Boy. Yeah, just glad they're safe. All right, so 2 supermoons, including the blue moon. NASA says that the full moon rises in the east 30 minutes after sunset. And it's named the Sturgeon Moon for the time of the year when the large fish were abundant in the Great Lakes. The moon was also called the Green Corn Moon. By August 16th, the moon had gone through a crescent phase. The moon on August 20th is going to be blue. It's going to be blue, folks. It's referring to the second full moon of any month. The blue surgeon moon will peak, they say 9:36 Eastern time, is expected to be the biggest and the brightest in history. So once the blue moon is up, folks, they say you'll be able to see it in all its glory. It's considered a super moon. So you'll see 2 to 3 super moons during the full moon phase in the month of August. Deaths and illnesses, dog leaked to toxic algae, folks, because we're letting them, not only Florida, but if you see algae around in ponds or lakes or rivers, keep your dogs out of it. It's killing them. They said they have had more pets linked to deaths of algae right now because it's so hot. It just grows it. It's a mold. To leave your pets away from the water. Now they say, now get this. If you put your dog's water or cat's water outside, after it gets over 90 degrees, you have to change it. It will grow a slime a form of algae. Now, and I thought about that and I went and checked my dog's dish after having this house with no power. And come to find out, it was slimy. So there was something growing in my dog's dish. So I cleaned it out. Make sure you check your dogs and your cat dishes. Whether you have cats outside that you feed and water, check the water. Check the puddles in and around your house, they say. Because if there are puddles, more than likely it's toxic. They said spray them out. If they're going to drink out of it, spray them out. Uh, so that's what they said. There is get this, over 2,000 pets have been affected and sickened. Even they said 117 humans just this month alone because of algae and the high temperatures and it changing the form of what do you call it, molecules or it doesn't say on this article. Um, it changes the water and it will definitely make you sick. And now more vets are saying you don't leave your water out for the dogs. And when after we lost power both times and I came in, we had to leave the bird here. I couldn't take the bird. And get this, the water was hot both times. So the poor bird was trying to deal with hot water. So I tried to make sure that we had someone come in the second time and me to be able to change the water out for the bird. All right, so North Carolina health officials put eating limits on fish due to contamination. If you live in North Carolina, watch the fresh fish if you're catching it because they could be contaminated from chemicals that's in the waters and the streams. They say even around Pennsylvania. We had that train derailment in Pennsylvania, I believe, a few days ago. I'm probably going to do it on the news in the next hour. And when it gets into the water, folks, you can't eat them fish. And a lot of kids are like they're still throwing the off the bridges, and fishermen still going out to fish. You can't eat these fish. Make sure that I don't know. I think we're going to have to start getting some type of meter that we could test the fish to see if there's any radiation or contaminants, chemical contaminants. And forget the algae. When you have like even coal, they were pouring tailings of coal into the rivers, and it was polluting the rivers and poisoning the fish. And then people were eating it, and this is where they caught a lot of diseases. Um, your wasn't Mary was wanting to know about that. My area wasn't notified. Um, did you get the bad water from the derailment, Karen? Because they evacuated so many people. Oh, we just let me know and I'll go ahead and put it out there. But I need to move on because, boy, I told William I'm trying to get through this quick. Um, there was a Florida couple arrested with 2 kids, 13 pets removed that was covered in feces. Now, not only the animals were covered in feces, but so were the kids, animal feces. And CPS was called in. 13 pets were removed. And it was everything from a dog, a cat. You got to take a look at these guys. Yeah, they say there's nothing wrong with these people for that. Starve the kids, starve the animals. They were living pretty good. Oh, some of this stuff you hear, you just want to, I don't know, I want to pull her hair. I could think of bigger things to do, but it just makes you want to hurt these kind of people. All right, driving styles, and I probably only have enough for a few of them. Depending where someone is from and where they are driving, you can make some assumption about their driving styles. In Chicago, one hand on the wheel, the other hand on the horn. New Jersey, one hand on the wheel, one finger out the window, uh, cutting across all the lanes of traffic. Texas, one hand on the wheel, one hand on the hunting rifle. Seattle, one hand on the latte, or one on the wheel, and cradling the cell phone, and foot on the brake, and mind on the game. Yeah. Pennsylvania, both hands on the reins. They don't have. They have reins. They don't have. Karen, you got reins or steering wheels? Yeah. I want to know about Karen and Susan. Do they got? You got a steering wheel or you have reins? I think they're making fun of people. I don't know if that's nice. Michigan, both hands on the wheel and head and the head basically out the window with slur words and the middle finger in the air and really bad bumper stickers. It says Los Angeles. You know what? You just need to duck if you hear gunfire. Okay, folks, that's it. We got trivia tomorrow. Boy, yeah, I was like, I got to get power before I lose trivia for this week. Boy, I'm ready for trivia. Are you? All right, so come on back tomorrow, subscribe, and hit that like button. Thumbs up. Let's get these numbers up. Let's get monetized. Everybody says, Ellie, you need to be monetized. I'm like, okay, well then, yeah, okay, if you say so. Let's get the numbers up on um, YouTube, and let's keep growing the numbers on Facebook. And as you see, I'm waiting. Not too many people have watched the funny post, so I'm kind of laying back and letting the last week get seen. All right. I want to thank Carrie and Karen, Mary, and Susan and William. They jump in all the time and they make remarks. The steering wheel. Yeah, Karen's got reins. I know she's got reins. She's got what? You got 2 horses and how many carriages? Tell me you don't wear them weird dresses. I'm gonna get hit by that group. They're gonna hit me with emails from hell. All right, folks. You guys have a nice Thursday. Go see The Sound of Freedom, folks. Let's make it number 1. Let's put it past Mission Impossible. To heck with Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise can wait. Sound of Freedom. Let's knock this human trafficking. Let's nip it in the bud. All right. You guys have a wonderful Thursday, and we will see you in about 10 minutes. I got to go grab William on the phone, and me and William will be back with the World War III report. You guys have a wonderful Thursday. God bless.